so I want to pull some cards and feel the energy out on what this Mercury retrograde might unfold, how it might unfold. Now, we're in Mercury retrograde already, the beginning of it at least, and it's going to be interesting. Now, everyone's going to have a different experience, but I'm pulling kind of this collective general energy on what we could be seeing, okay? So bear with me. I'm going to be pulling cards out of the Tarot Illuminati deck, because it's probably one of my favorite decks. I love the illustrations, and I'm probably going to be pulling some out of the Intuit Oracle, okay? So let's see what's going to go on for this Mercury retrograde. Let's just get a feel. Okay. All right. Okay. Lot of cards. Lot of energy here. Okay. Ten of Swords. Okay, out of the gate, Ten of Swords in reverse is really talking about how the heaviness that a lot of you have been feeling or could be feeling in the near future. So, you know, things that are absolutely out of your control. Some of you might feel at rock bottom, that you have been feeling this way. You know, you've been thinking the worst case scenario, or feeling like you've just been, you know, stabbed in the back or deceived, or, you know, lied to or cheated on, or you've been, you know, fooled in many ways. And you're kind of at this point where it's like, what else can happen? What else can go wrong? First of all, don't say that, because things can come in. You don't want to bring anything else in. But the Ten of Swords in reverse is talking about how you're starting to get out of that mental state. Understanding that, like, how you're feeling, even if it's, you know, rock bottom or at a really low point, the worst is now over. Now, it's key because this is a mental state. It doesn't always mean that it's actually realistically happening. A lot of times when we let the fear and the unknown come in, mentally, we let that energy, we create a narrative in our head, and a lot of times we think that's what's going to happen or has happened. And that's not always the case. So this is not allowing your mind to run off in the most, you know, drastic way. This is about keeping yourself grounded and centered, and understanding that if you are going through a really tough time right now, the worst is now over, okay? So, you know, naturally with Mercury retrograde, a lot of things are delayed. A lot of, you know, there's frustrations. Travel can be, you know, not only delayed, but canceled, or, you know, timing is off, and things can get lost, communication can go wrong, technology can fail, lots of things can happen, even with your car. So with the Chariot card in reverse, what I would tell you is that things are going to be delayed. So if you do have to travel, give yourself enough buffer time. If you have to be at the airport, you know, in 2 hours, maybe give yourself an extra hour, so that's 3 hours. So you have enough time so you're not rushed and you're not upset or you're not stressed out. Now, for a lot of you, if you have not taken your car in for a checkup, if you've been waiting, if there's been a check engine light, or something's happened, or your tires are low, or this is a time maybe to get winter tires on, whatever the case is, I don't know where all of you are in the world, but this is a time because you could experience some issues with your vehicle. So if you are proactive, then things might not be as bad. Now, when I will tell you that we're already in retrograde. So if you do take your car in, there could be a situation where they find something wrong with your car. So just expect that there could be something that happens. Now, instead of getting frustrated, take it as, you know what, I'm glad they found it, because it could have been a worse problem later down the road. But what can I tell you is travel, especially vehicles, there could be a lot of issues. So just make sure that you're being proactive as much as possible. The Tower card naturally comes out. Of course, why wouldn't it in a Mercury retrograde? And of course, this is pretty much, if there's an illustration for 2020, this would be it, right? So abrupt change, things that are happening out of nowhere. A lot of it is out of our control. This is The Tower card is ruled by Aries, Mars energy, and I think we're still in Mars retrograde. But also this is very much Uranian energy too, because it's abrupt and it's sudden change. Now the Tower, I know for a lot of people who don't embrace change, and this card usually comes out when we have chosen free will and we've looked the other way quite a bit, that the universe comes in and says, okay, now you have to do this. This is something you have to do. The Tower card, actually, there's a lot of positivity around it after things come crashing down. So a lot of times we have to have our foundation shook in order for us to rebuild stronger for the future. So if you're going through a Tower moment now, just realize in the end, you are going to be able to work with a blank slate and have the ability to move forward and have more confidence because you're building a stronger foundation. Now, for many of you, the 10 of Cups in reverse can indicate how you're feeling, even whether it's your love life or just how things, fulfillment, overall fulfillment in your life. Mercury retrograde is really everyone has this really, frustrating energy around Mercury retrograde, but it's really asking us to take a step back, revisit, relook, redefine, redo, review, and go through things again with a fine-tooth comb, because it is asking us what we have in front of us now, whether that is career, job, relationships, whatever the case is it the right thing? And is it built on stable footing for the long term? If this has to do with relationships, I have to say that this can be, a divorce or separation or breaking up. A lot of couples, especially this year, because many of us have been forced to be in one location with each other more than we're used to. A lot of relationships have either thrived or they've disintegrated. And for many of you, knowing that a relationship, if this is relationship based for you, that will not move forward, know that number one, there's a rhyme and reason for it. And there could have been problems there for a while, but you've refused to face them, or you refuse to deal with them, or it could have been vice versa on your partners. It could be both of you or one of you, right? But at the end of the day, this is the energy is being removed out of your life that doesn't bring fulfillment, that doesn't make you happy, truly happy. And one thing that we can't get back in life is time. So if this is relationship based for some of you, is it worth spending time with someone who you really don't want to be with, or they don't want to be with you? That's not fair, right? So this is really removing energy that is not fulfilling anymore. Mind, body, and soul. 9 of Pentacles. Now, on the off side of this, for many of you who have been single for a very long time, maybe you're kind of, sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I didn't expect him to meow as loudly as he did. For some of you who have been single for a while, the 9 of Pentacles might indicate that, well, maybe I am interested in a relationship, or you're doing a lot of self-work where you are at a point where maybe you're a little bit more open to dating, or you're open to meet people, or you're open to possibly not be single anymore. I'm saying that for some of us because not everyone likes to hear committed relationship right out of the gate. So, but one thing about the 9 of Pentacles in reverse too, this could be some of you are really relooking at your finances. This is a good time as well, because this is a perfect scenario where a lot of us don't look at our bank statements as often as we should. And maybe there is a charge or something that comes up that you actually start to get yourself in the habit of looking at your finances a little bit harder, and or looking at where you're spending money, and you're starting to become a little bit more focused on where your money is going, how much money is going out and how much money is coming in, and where you can save. So that's another message too for some of you. It's interesting because I see a progression here, and you do have you have a couple 10s, quite a few 10s. Now he's meowing to get back in. I don't know what his deal is. Sorry, folks. 9 of Swords is really thinking of every scenario that I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have thought about this, or I wish I could redo this, or I wish I could go back and say this. It's going through all the what ifs. The thing is that with the 9 of Swords, it is realizing that the more you put yourself in this downward spiral, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, the reality is that you cannot change the past. All you can do is take it as a lesson to move forward and be smarter in how you approach things, or how you think about things, or what you say, or how you act in the future. Okay, the 10 of Wands also is a progression from 9 from 10, but 10s are endings. You have a few endings in here. And this is also about realizing that you're going to have to release some of the burden that you're carrying, whether it's mental, whether it's physical stress, whether it's other people's energy. You're going to have to start to release some of that. I think that's a huge message during this retrograde, especially when we get into Scorpio season. We've got to start letting go of things that don't serve us. If it doesn't bring you happiness, if it doesn't bring you value, why is it in your life, right? So if you are carrying a lot of weight, especially a weight of others, this is a time to understand that that's not your responsibility. And in many ways, when you do that and you step in and take other people's burdens off their shoulders and you carry it, you're actually taking their karmic lessons, okay? Now, again, a lot of you, the 2 of Cups in reverse, this can mean that it's a relationship that's gone south. It's a relationship that has, it's not, it's a broken relationship, whether that's family, whether it's platonic, I can't speak in Mercury retrograde, whether it's friends, platonic, my God, I cannot speak, or it's relationship, or even family. Now, this can be a relationship that just is severed. It's there's been either something's been said or done, whatever the case is, but this isn't the burden for you to carry anymore. Sometimes you're not going to get closure, and you just have to forgive yourself, maybe even the other person. That doesn't mean you have to forget. It just means that you have to forgive, and that allows you to release that energy off your shoulders and the burden that sometimes you carry, okay? Again, certain things that don't pan out with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there might be things that you were hoping for, a new start, or, whether it was a job offer, whether it was a promotion, whether it was a vertical or a horizontal move in a company, whether it was launching a business, whether it was a relationship taking off, whether it was buying or selling a home, traveling. If you've had any delays or cancellations, or even just a hard no, understand that you are being redirected and you're being protected for something much bigger and better that is meant for you. Remember, everything that is meant for you will always come to you. So when things don't work out, it's easy to get frustrated and pissed off and negative, and why not me, and I've worked so hard, and all of these things. But remember, a lot of times it's you are being guided to something better, and you're being protected, divinely protected. What I can tell you is that this energy during Mercury retrograde, especially if you surrender and let go and not try to fight every single step of the way, you're going to notice certain people are not going to level up the same way you are. The 7 of Swords in reverse, this is really about the people who are always trying to ride your coattails or fly under the radar, or they only talk to you when they need something, or they call you when they're bored or they're lonely. People like that are going to start to diminish, because you are starting to realize, number one, you're spotting it out and you're seeing the red flags, but you're also leveling up, and your energy, you're not even going to entertain people like that anymore. So you're clearing out a lot of negative energy out. And this goes especially in the romance area. So 9 of Wands, this is about understanding that you have made such great leaps forward, whether it's in this Mercury retrograde or, throughout the rest of this year. you have really persevered and pushed forward in many ways in your life. So you're not going to let anyone just come in and ruin that, nor you should. You shouldn't, right? So the King of Cups, this is not allowing yourself to compromise or settle for any type of emotional fulfillment that isn't at your wavelength, isn't at your vibration. Sorry, this cat is meowing and I'm having a hard time channeling. But this is about not allowing yourself to settle or compromise with anyone, whether it's you teach people how you want to be treated. So it's not allowing yourself to be, you know, spoken to a certain way or devalued, whether it's professionally or personally. It's not letting family make you feel guilty or bad about yourself, or that you should live your life a certain way. You're not allowing that negative energy, you know, hurt you emotionally anymore, because you're stronger than that and you're smarter than that, and you know you deserve more than that. I was going to pull some oracle cards, but this cat keeps meowing. I'm so sorry for the disruption, but I'm going to stop the reading and hopefully I can pull a couple more cards later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, because then you'll know when more videos come live or upload. Shit, I don't even know what I'm saying. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, because I load videos there all the time. I do live readings, and it's Owlchemist Tarot, same handle. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.